Hey, welcome back to 7 Minute Stories. I am here with Awna Saylor
Hi.
and Kimberly Price. Say hi to everybody, Kimberly.
Hi.
There you go. All right, so we're going to do kind of a combo 7 minute story. Tell us a little bit about how you guys met, how you guys teamed up, and then what happened recently, which was a really cool experience.
Okay.
So tell me first, how did you guys kind of meet each other and end up at New Life together?
So sixth grade, I kind of came in, and then Anna was like, "I'm a weirdo," and I was like, "Cool," and then we became friends, and I brought her home, and then she didn't leave.
Yeah, it just like I went up to her, like I seen her, and like I don't know why, because I don't ever introduce myself like that. But I went up to her and I was like, "Hi, I'm Anna, and I'm a weirdo," and she was like, "Okay," and then like she literally took me home, and I never left, ever.
Literally. And then she moved in, and then we met Mike, and because I was in the hospital.
Well, let's back up for a second. So you moved in with Kimberly.
Okay, well, at first it started as like my home life wasn't that great, and it was affecting me very greatly, and so Kimberly was also doing really bad. So we were both very suicidal. So instead of trying to get help, we thought if we just died together, that like it would all go away. So we did like lots of things, like at the age of 12 and 13, just trying to die for like a span of like 2 years, and like we just until like one day we like almost did. Like we went to the lake and we were like, hey, let's swim out to the Bowie. And it was like, okay. And then like we went out there and then we actually almost drowned. And then from that day forward, we were like, we don't want to die. Like that's not what we want.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's whenever we started to kind of change our lives. But then in that period of time, like I went through something. And so then I fully moved in. So like at first it was like 2 years. I wasn't really living there, but I was staying there for like weeks at a time and then going home for a couple days.
Yeah. And then did you guys find us through youth first, or did you guys come to Sunday morning service?
Church.
Yeah. Tell me
Yep.
about that. How did you guys end up?
So we had a prayer session, and then all together, me, Anna, and Kinsey, and then Mike.
Because your mom was like, these girls need prayer.
My mom was like, "Oh, you were in the hospital. That's it. That's enough. You need God." And then so Mike and them set up a prayer session whenever, like 5 days after I got out of the hospital. And then Mike was like, "There's Sunday. Like Sunday, y'all need to be there." And so we were there Sunday. And then he introduced us to youth. He was like, "There's also youth for you girls too." And then we were like, "We're not going every Wednesday." And then we actually went to youth, and then we came home because Mike took us, and we were like, we loved it. Like we go every Wednesday.
Pastor Cam's pretty awesome, isn't he?
Yeah,
Shout out
he's-
to Pastor Cameron.
he
Shout out
is.
Pastor Cam.
Yes, we love him.
Yeah, and so it kind of started off as that, and then it went from that, and then kind of like changed. Like I don't know how to explain this, but like it was like we were still like not understanding at first. Like
Yeah.
we kind of just went to go because we thought it was a fun time, and then it grew from just having a fun time to wanting to change our lives. And so whenever Mike one time he took us to breakfast and he was like, "Hey, I paid for the camping trip, like the youth camp," and we're like, "What?" And like I was like, I'm not going to camp. Like we were like, we're not going. Like that's weird. And but then whenever the time started coming up to go, like we got excited. Like we were excited to go.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever we went, like the first 2 days, we didn't like it because we had to get up in the morning, we had to walk 20 minutes, then we had to sit there, we were asleep. Like it was bad. But then like the third day, like best experience I've ever had, and it was really really good.
The last day camp was the best one. Like
I like-
everyone had. I like the third one too. But like the best one was like the most like down to it, like down to earth kind.
I
Yeah.
liked it whenever
Tell me-
everyone cried.
Tell me about that experience. So, like, what was impacting about it to your life?
Because so like this one main preacher, that they waited for him for the last one because he was like he knows like the way with words, and then he got up there and he just started preaching, and then like he wasn't sugarcoating anything, like he said everything how it was, and then like a whole bunch of people started crying. And the most like overwhelming part was because I asked God to give me more gifts, and He gave me to where I could feel people, and I could feel like everyone emotions, and it was like whoa, and then like that was pretty much it, and I was like wow, like
And so you guys
Cool.
been growing with that. You went to camp. You had that experience. You started to change your lives, and you went from, my understanding is, you went from being prayed for to praying for other people.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then lately, you guys came in because I was at Freedom that Tuesday night. You guys have been coming to the Freedom group,
Mhm.
and I think it was your grandpa told that story.
Yeah.
But why don't you guys tell it? Word.
So we went to Worlds of Fun that day, and then we went to McDonald's afterwards was fine. We were just gonna go to the one in Gardner, but like my dad's like, this one's closer, we'll just go here. And then the lady, she was tweaking out, and then we were just sitting there, and she just kept on and kept on. And then I had thought about it. I was like, we need to pray for her, but I was like, you know, and I was like, well, no, like I was kind of like second guessing it. And Anna said it, and I was like, well, both of us both got it, so we need to do it.
Don't you love that when God tells you something, you're like, I'm not doing that. And then someone else like, we should pray for that person.
McDonald's.
Oh, okay, I
Yeah,
won't do
because
it.
it was like because everyone was like judging her, and I'm like, and I sat at the table and I was like, there's obviously a reason she's doing what she's doing. Like she's not just gonna do that. Like I was like, she's going through something. I was like, we should pray for her, and Kimberly was like, we should pray
too.
for her.
I was like, I got that too, and I was like, both of us got it. Like we have to do it now. So we went up there, and then first mom was like, you're in McDonald's, like, you need to wait until she comes up. Me and I was like, we don't care. We going up there. And so we seen her come out. We're like, can we pray for you? And then she was like, what? And then, like, it's like she's shocked. She was shocked. And then we asked her, and we prayed for her. And actually the manager came out and prayed with us.
That's cool.
And then she was just like la-di-da, like going with it. And then Anna got the word addiction. And then she just opened her eyes.
And she started
like-
laughing. And
she started
I didn't
laughing.
understand why she was laughing. And then like Dad goes there like the next day, and she was like, "Where's the 3 angels?" And he was like, "The angels," and he was like, "The girls that prayed for me." And apparently she went home, and like for the first time ever, she didn't smoke or drink. She just went to bed. And so after that, like she woke up the next morning and she went to church for the first time, and like I forgot how many years,
Like
it was,
20-something years.
yeah, it was a long time. And like because the last time, and then she called her mom after church, because the last time she talked to her mom, she told her mom to quit pushing Jesus into her, like she doesn't want it.
Yeah.
And so whenever she called her mom, she finally talked to her mom, and then come to find out, she quit her job and she moved back with her mom so she could pursue following Jesus.
And to help her dad, because whenever she called her mom, they had this long talk for hours. She felt that her dad was sick, and so she moved back there, and now she's helping out with her dad, and she truly believes we're angels. She's like, they're angels. She's like, they're angels.
Yeah.
My dad's like, no, they're humans. She's like, no, God sent them down. They're my angels.
Yeah.
She calls us her angels. So yeah,
Well,
it was pretty fun.
And how does that feel to be able to like follow God's word, break someone's addiction, pray for them, and it changed their life?
It motivates me.
Yeah.
I've always, like, ever since like I started changing my life, like I've been more motivated to help other people grow. But like knowing, like seeing that, like, I don't know, it gives me more like courage to do more.
Yeah. Like, it's not like me having pride, like I did that. It's the fact that, like, wow, like God's using me for that. Like God's using me to help others, because I've always loved helping others. That's why I got her off the street. And like it's just awesome, like amazing, like how God can turn you to this, like from this terrible person and to the way you were feeling before to like this amazing person that's just going out helping people back and front. Yeah,
Back and forth.
back
Yeah.
and forth. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, like you're talking about how many times do you think that you've like felt that prompting, like to go help somebody, and you're like, no.
I've
So
done
many.
that my whole
So
life.
many.
But
Yeah.
like, because I struggle with social anxiety. So like, I don't like when people look at me, like I don't like going in public. Like, I don't like it. But whenever, like, I don't know why I just did it that day, and like that helped me a lot. Now I'm like not really as terrified to talk to people and pray for them.
Yeah. Because I think if you do that and you get a positive result, it reaffirms like, oh, I can make a difference.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's great. Like I said, I love watching you guys grow, and like you said, going from that, I watched you guys go into the prayer room, and then like now you're taking people into the prayer room. And so I think that's fantastic. So thanks you guys for sharing that story, and we'll join you next time here on the 7 Minute Stories.